A syringe. That's what he remembered first. Not the camp. Not the guards. Not even the smell, though that came later. Just a syringe. And a man in a white coat, who didn't look at him when he pushed it in. He was a priest, did you know that? A Polish priest. He hadn't done anything. He was just there. And the man in the white coat, he had a name. Schilling. Dr. Claus Schilling. The Dachau Concentration Camp. February 1942. A man of 71 years begins his work. He has credentials, awards, decades of international research. He has a plan. The strange thing about this story is that it doesn't start with cruelty. It starts with ambition. And ambition, in the wrong system, doesn't need cruelty to become monstrous. It just drifts there, slowly. The fever was 3 days in. He couldn't hold water. His hands were shaking so badly he bit through his own lip trying to keep still. And Schilling was writing notes. Just writing notes. Before we open this chapter of history fully, drop a comment below. Do you have a family member who served in the war? We'd love to honor their story. And if you find value in World War II history told this way, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Born Munich, 1871. The German Empire is young, confident, expanding. Medicine is the language of progress. Schilling grows up believing this. He studies. He excels. By 1895, he is a doctor. By 1896, he is in London. London, of all places. The German hospital. Treating patients. Learning. He was, by every account, a serious man. Serious men are dangerous. Not because they're cruel, but because they're convinced. Conviction without ethics is just a faster road to atrocity. I keep trying to picture him young, walking somewhere normal. A street, a university, a man who had a mother. But I can't hold the image. It keeps slipping into the white coat. After London, colonial service. Togo. Then German East Africa. He encounters malaria there. On a scale he has never seen. Thousands dying. Europeans. Locals. Soldiers. Administrators. The disease doesn't ask for rank. For Schilling, this becomes everything. He is appointed director of the Tropical Medicine Division at the Robert Koch Institute in Berlin. First ever director of that department. He is also named to the Malaria Commission of the League of Nations. A man at the peak of a legitimate career. So what changed? Nothing changed. That's what makes it difficult to look at directly. Nothing dramatic changed. The world just shifted around him. And he shifted with it. Germany. The interwar years. Inflation. Unemployment. Streets full of fear. Democratic institutions failing in real time. People looking for reasons, and finding them in ideology. 1933. Hitler becomes Chancellor. 30 January. And medicine is never the same again. My grandfather used to say, you could feel it before you could name it. Something tightening. Something narrowing. Like the world was making a list. And checking who was on it. Doctors were not forced into this system. Many walked in willingly. Funding. Prestige. Access. The opportunities had never existed before. Schilling never joined the Nazi Party. That detail matters. He didn't need to. There's a version of this story where Schilling is a convinced ideologue. A true believer. But that version is too simple. The harder version is that he was an opportunist who told himself he wasn't. A scientist who wanted to finish his work, and chose not to look at what that required. After retiring from the Koch Institute in 1936, he moves to fascist Italy. Mussolini's Italy. Italian troops in Ethiopia are being devastated by malaria. Schilling is offered a laboratory. Patients. He begins experimenting on people in Italian psychiatric institutions. People who cannot consent. He calls it necessary. Necessary. I've heard that word a lot in this story. I'm still waiting for it to mean something. November 1941. Rome. Schilling meets with Reich health leader Leonardo Conti. Acting on orders from Heinrich Himmler himself. Schilling is assigned to continue his research. The location chosen. Dachau Concentration Camp. Near Munich. His hometown. Dachau had opened in March 1933. First permanent camp in the system. the model for everything that followed. By the time Schilling arrives, it is already a place of experiments. Hypothermia, high altitude, pharmaceuticals, prisoners with no protection, no choice. February 1942. Schilling sets up his laboratory. He is 71 years old. He chose them. That's the part that doesn't go away. He didn't inherit a list. He chose who? Poles first. Polish priests. Men who had taken vows. Then Italians. Then Soviet prisoners. He moved through them like he was working through a methodology. The process. Prisoners were exposed to mosquitoes carrying malaria. Extended exposure. In some cases, extracts from infected mosquito glands were injected directly. After infection, experimental synthetic drugs. Doses ranging from extreme to lethal. 3 days. Sometimes 4. The fever climbs and you don't know where you are anymore. Chill so bad the bed frame rattles. Pain. That doesn't have a word for it in any language I know. And he's there? Sometimes. Writing. The prisoners called him Bloody Schilling. Not historians. Not prosecutors. The prisoners. The ones surviving it while it was happening. That name came from inside the camp. More than 1,000 prisoners subjected to his experiments. Approximately 200 of them, priests. Around 30 died directly from the experimental procedures. An estimated 300 to 400 more died from complications. From the lasting damage. From what his research left inside them. He ran these experiments for over 3 years. They were halted on the 5th of April, 1945. Only because Germany's defeat was no longer avoidable. Himmler ordered the stop. Not conscience. Circumstance. He stopped because he was told to. Not before. The 29th of April, 1945. American forces enter Dachau. What they find? Soldiers who had seen combat? Are not prepared for. Starvation. Mass death. Bodies still unburied. More than 200,000 people had passed through Dachau and its subcamps since 1933. Nearly 42,000 were murdered. Schilling was arrested shortly after liberation. The trial began the 15th of November, 1945. 40 defendants. 5 of them doctors. There was no formal international code governing medical experimentation at the time. The laws hadn't caught up to what the Nazis had done. But the tribunal didn't need a code. The evidence was not ambiguous. At trial, Schilling addressed the court in English. He presented himself as a scientist devoted to knowledge. A man of medicine. Not a murderer. Then he began to cry. He cried. He begged them. Begged them to let him finish his research. Said it would benefit humanity. Said it could redeem what he had done. He said, "I have worked out this great labor. It really would be a terrible loss if I could not finish this work." A terrible loss. There's something almost incomprehensible about that moment. A man who never cried in front of the people he was killing. Crying in front of the people judging him. Dignity. Reserved for himself. The 13th of December, 1945. Sentence, death. Petitions for clemency were submitted by colleagues from respected institutions. They emphasized his past achievements. They argued he had not intended to kill. The appeals were rejected. Intent is interesting when it comes to Schilling. Because the argument was, he didn't mean for them to die. He just didn't mean for them not to. There's a name for that. The 28th of May, 1946. Claus Schilling. 74 years old. Hanged. Before the execution, he was asked if he wanted to make a final statement. He said, "I am not guilty. Please get it over with." The priests didn't get that. A quick end. They didn't get to say they were ready. He did. So what do we do with Claus Schilling? He wasn't a fanatic in the way we usually picture one. He didn't write manifestos. He didn't give speeches about racial purity. He just had something he wanted to finish. And he found a system willing to give him the bodies to finish it with. That's the part that doesn't fit cleanly into a villain's portrait. He was a scientist who stopped being a doctor. Somewhere between London and Dachau, the patient became the subject. And the subject stopped being a person. 1,000 people. Over 3 years. In his hometown. He begged for more time. Not for them. For the work. The priest with the syringe. I keep coming back to him. He probably prayed. While Schilling wrote. I don't know if that means anything. I just can't let go of it. The Nuremberg Code. 14 Principles of Ethical Medical Research. Written, in part, because of what happened in places like Dachau. Because of men like Schilling. The code was necessary, because the men who should have known better didn't stop themselves. Now you see it differently, don't you? Not a monster from another world. A man from this one, who just kept going. History isn't warning us about the obvious villains. It's warning us about the ones who thought they were doing something important. If this changed how you see it, subscribe. There's always more beneath the surface. History is never as simple as it looks.